And here we go again. Hello there, Facebook world. This is Andrew. Been off the grid a little bit, but just decided to pop in tonight because I wanted to just share some insight as to some things that was on my mind. But sometimes you have to pivot, and I've used that word before when you have to do a reevaluation of where you're at, where you're going, what you're doing. Sometimes you just got to pivot. And in doing that, you have to make a decision. Very important. You got to make a decision as to which way you want to go, what you want to do. And the most important thing about that is if you don't make a decision, you've made a decision. The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. Let me just say that again. The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. And in the profession that I chose, a lot of times the distortion of what it takes to become the best at what you do is not given correctly. So, and individuals might think that you get something for nothing. You don't get anything. There might be some people that were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but I wasn't one of them, fortunately. Growing up in a rural area, plowing behind a mule, man. I'll share this with you. Some individuals would not even understand that experience, much less imagine what that experience was all about. But WRK, work, was the impact behind it. In other words, the integrity, the ethics behind work was established in me at an early age. And so I understand, that's why I say the only place success comes before work is in the dictionary. And when you make a decision to do something, you got to stand behind that decision. Sometimes you have to pivot. When I retired from the federal government, I made a decision. I made a pivot. And every 2 weeks when I got paid, the government was making a decision for me. The government was making a decision for me. You don't work, you don't eat. But sometimes, as that saying goes, you have to take the leap and grow wings on the way down. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So there is not an avenue to take where you gain by not doing anything. Just not available, just not there. Whatever it might be, some activity is going to have to be endured, some activity is going to have to be accomplished in order to achieve what you want. One of my coaches, Bob Yates, has a mantra, and I've been saying it for years, and I just happened to see it on Facebook tonight. He said, and I'm going to make sure I get it right, one dream, one purpose, one vision, one mission. One dream, one purpose, one vision, one mission. Another mentor of mine, Brother Murray, always used the word focus. Follow one course until successful. Focus. Follow one course until successful. So you have to horn your skills. Anything you do, you got to horn your skills. You just don't jump out there and you're going to cut down a tree and your axe is not sharpened or your saw is not sharpened. You got to develop skills in anything that you do. It's important. It doesn't happen overnight. Brother Mary always talks about his 40-some years of overnight success. Think about that. 40-some years of his overnight success. 40-some years of his overnight success. Something to think about. And so when you make decisions in your life, when you make a decision to do something, individuals have made decisions prior in their life that has brought rejoicing, to the present. Some individuals have made decisions in their life prior that have brought pain. I have experienced both. I have experienced rejoicing. I have experienced pain. Both of them I have experienced. And so I understand that. And I'm not saying that more won't happen. But what I do understand is when an individual make a decision, they make that decision for themselves. They make the decision for themselves. They don't make the decision for you. Now, I'm not saying you can't work together or whatever to bring about something that's going to benefit the both of you. But for the most part, because individuals can be very influential. There are individuals that have been influential in my life. Individuals can be very persuasive. There are individuals that have been persuasive. And there are individuals that have been manipulative. And I've experienced all of those too. Not only in the secular world, but also from a spiritual standpoint. Persuasive, influential, and manipulative. It can happen. So when you make a decision, you make a decision to benefit yourself because that's who you're making the decision for, yourself. I'm not saying not to get insight from other people that you feel can be instrumental, but understand that you are the one going to have to live with what you contemplate, what you say, what you do. You're the one going to have to live with it, and sometimes you might not like the outcome, but regardless, a decision is going to be made because if you don't make a decision, you made one. So it's very important to understand that you pivot, you pivot, you pivot. Sometimes it don't seem like it's favorable. Sometimes it's more faith involved than anything else. I posted today when Helen Keller was asked what did she think about, what was her thoughts about being blind. She said it wasn't being blind that bothered her. It was individuals that could see but had no vision. So that was on my heart today. Decision was on my heart yesterday. Decision because one of my mentors told me that if you make a decision about something and you're going to stick to it, then there's no need to venture off checking out something else if you're serious about what you're doing. You don't need to look at something else. I'm not saying not to keep an open mind. You know, the mind works like a parachute, only functions when it's open. So I'm not saying don't keep an open mind. I'm just saying that if you believe in what you're doing and you believe in your heart that it's going to work for you, you believe that you have the intestinal fortitude to make it happen, then you work to see it unfold. If it doesn't, again, Brother Mary, I got to give him his props. He said, if you win, you're happier. If you lose, and you don't say that in the significance of losing, but if it doesn't work out, you're wiser. So you can be happy in one instance, you can be wiser in the other. Both of them work. Both of them work. So I just wanted to share right quick that making a decision is very important in your life. If you don't make one, you've already made one. And, you know, we work to be part of the solution. We work to be part of the solution, not the problem. I mean, I've heard a lot of things. Some of them scare me, you know. Having a pipe dream. I don't even want to think about what that means, having a pipe dream. You've been around long enough. You know what people put in a pipe, and I ain't talking about tobacco. It don't stay in there very long. But anyway, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. It takes that intestinal fortitude to make it work for you. It's very important. And if I could leave anything with you that would be relevant for today and tomorrow, it would be make a decision to be the best version of yourself that you can. Not comparing yourself to anybody. Not prejudging anybody. Not measuring what somebody else do to what you do. Because there's always going to be somebody smarter than me. There's always going to be somebody smarter than you. That's just the way the world is. But it ain't nobody going to be better, because we're all fearfully and wonderfully made. And that's the beauty of life. We all have our individuality. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. And that's what you need to live with. That's what you need to live by on a day-to-day basis. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And so until the next time, make that decision to be the best version of yourself that you can be.